Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Bubble Tea. Here on the podcast today, we have with us Giulia Zappon, the Executive Director of Changsha Eurasia. Giulia, it's great to have you on the podcast with us today.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Welcome, Giulia. Can we ask you about how did your entrepreneurial journey started in China with Changsha Eurasia?
Sure. This company is my own company, and my husband and I are the two shareholders of this company. We are both Italians, and we have been running this company for more than 10 years now. It's not like the first time for me in China, because the first time I've come to China was in 2006 because I majored in Chinese. And then the first time I came to China to study, but I graduated in Venice University. I think Italian people know Ca' Foscari University is quite famous, also quite good for Oriental languages and study. So that was my major. And after that, I worked for Chinese companies, Chinese multinational companies as well, and also for Italian companies in China. And after that, I just resigned. And I met my husband in Italy. And in 2012, we moved together from Italy directly to Changsha. So not just China, I want to be specific, to Changsha.
Amazing. And
Yes.
Can I ask, so, a lot of people we speak to that got involved with China, they sort of tried their first dumpling or the dragon roared, and they came across to China and they found it the most sort of amazing experience. Can I ask you, so you're in Changsha, and like, what's the difference between being in Changsha than say Shanghai or Beijing? What made you choose to move there as opposed to sort of, I guess, the sort of more obvious tier one city, shall I say?
First of all, we didn't came here like by chance, and actually no one sent us here, because we came here like on our own decision. So we chose Changsha, and before moving here and opening our company here, actually we made some research, investigation. We came here first to check. And actually, we found out that Changsha and Hunan province, because Changsha is the capital city of Hunan, was actually in that moment the best choice for us compared to other cities for many reasons, actually. Most foreigners maybe would choose Shanghai or Beijing, as you asked, or maybe Shenzhen or Guangzhou. These cities are even bigger and more famous overseas. And actually, there are many foreigners there and many foreign companies. But we are different. First of all, if all foreigners go somewhere, we don't go there. Because, we are a bit odd. Actually, we think here there are more opportunities, less competition. And plus, if you know Chinese like I do, so you speak right and read Chinese, you can actually succeed here. If you don't know Chinese and you are in China, it's not the same thing. Of course, if you live in Shanghai, maybe you don't even need to speak Chinese, because all your colleagues, customers, suppliers will speak English, or maybe even Italian, some of them. But here, no. And in this city, in this area, they call us pioneers. Because still now, we are, like many times, we have been the first company to do something for the first time here. So many times the banks or the customs or, the relevant department, they say, oh, it's the first time we have done this. Maybe in Shanghai, it would not be the first time. Or maybe sometimes they told us in China would be the first time. So we are really against the stream, I would say.
And can I ask, so can you tell us a little bit more about the sort of various parts to what Changsha Eurasia does, and I guess key areas that you're pioneering in?
Yes, so our company is an import-export trading and consulting company. So we provide products, but also services. Actually, we do a bit of everything, and we are extremely flexible. Our smallest customer is an individual company. The biggest customer is a Fortune Global 500 company, a state-owned company. So we do like small, but also little small, but also big business, and also services. So we are very flexible. And actually, we are kind of special because we do what other companies, Chinese or foreign companies in China, sometimes don't want to do because they think it's too complicated, too difficult, you know. But of course, it's like what we do is completely legal. We only do legal business, to be clear. The point is, maybe because we are Italians, I don't know, maybe because we are a bit crazy, but many times when there is a problem and there, like, it seems that there is no solution to it, we find a way, of course, legal way, and maybe other people, other companies didn't think of that way, couldn't even imagine there was this way to handle this. So this is our like a peculiar feature. So answer to your question, every day is different because our job, let's say, it's very complicated sometimes, but it's also maybe the most beautiful job in the world because we keep learning new things every day, because the market is not still, is keeps changing all the time, and we keep meeting new people, new opportunities. It's changing every day, and also the products are upgrading and developing, the market, the people. So I cannot say what is special today because it's special every day. What we did a few years ago was special. What we are doing today, we will do tomorrow is special, but it's not always the same thing we do. Of course, we have some core business, but actually, we don't focus on one product or one service only. So it depends what our customers want. We do not only Chinese or Italian, but all over the world.
And going back, what was the first step that led you to founding the company? Like, how did that first deal sort of materialize that got you off the ground? And I also have a follow-up question. What do you think's been the source of your success? Is it that adaptability that you've mentioned?
I want to be modest because I cannot say we are perfect and we are great. And I mean, being here like for more than 10 years, including also, you know, COVID and everything that goes on with it, and the war, whatever is happening now around the world. So this is already shows something, right? So you say that I'm successful. I didn't say that. But actually, I think, yeah, the point is flexibility is the key. Because I think if some companies are not successful, is a matter of mentality. People must be willing to change and keep always the ears and the eyes open. Even when things are going well, you know, nothing can last forever. So you can always like do something at the same time, keep an eye on something else and try to be quicker than others. Yeah, because in this way you have an advantage because you arrive earlier and maybe you do better. And yeah, and you gain very, very precious experience, I would say.
Was it difficult to start a company in China as a foreigner, or would you say knowing Chinese really helped you? What was the key for finding your company?
Actually, when we opened our company in 2012, so actually I opened the company. I didn't look for any agency or something like many Chinese, but also foreigners normally find an agency to do that. Not for me, not for us. I did it. And they told me I was the only foreigner running around all the offices. And in that time was more complicated than now. Now, compared to back then, is easier and quicker. And actually, we also became later on an agency. So now other foreigners, for example, are asking us to help them open their business here. So we didn't start our business as an agency, you know, we just did it for ourselves. After that, other people started asking us. So we also started this agency business. So knowing Chinese is very important. I would say is essential in China because English is not enough. And yeah, it's always better to know Chinese. And also, it's not about translating only, but also about knowing the culture, the mentality, and especially when you do like us, international trade business, you really need much more than a translator, because translators or translations don't do everything. You have to really to always study, research, keep up to date about the rules, about everything that is going on, and also practice more, because many people maybe open a company, get an import-export license, doesn't mean that you do import-export tomorrow. And even now we are still learning, so you never end up learning. And the more you do it, the more professional you are. And as I said, our strength is that we really know many different sectors and products. So this is also our advantage. So we and still, we learn every day. So basically we can do almost everything. There is little things we cannot do. For example, being a foreign company, for some kinds of business we are limited, because China doesn't let foreigners do everything, or foreign companies. Like some products, some sectors are controlled by Chinese government, like they are like national monopoly or something. This is the only, let's say, difficulty we might have.
I think the military is an obvious one there. Yes.
This kind of things, yes, I understand. But I think every country has similar rules, right? We don't have really so many troubles, actually, I would say. And whatever trouble comes, we can solve it normally. The only thing is that, as I said before, being pioneers, when you do something for the first time, and especially in China, and especially as a foreigner, is not so easy, because it's not just a matter of doing the thing, but also about the mentality. Because China, even if they are opening up more and more, I think you can see that also, but still they are not so open. So many times, you have like a wall in front of you, and you have to kind of destroy this wall, but you cannot do it so like in a very strong or aggressive way. You have to talk, you have to drink tea, you have to maybe have dinner. It's about
what's it, guanxi, right?
Guanxi is important all over the world, not only in China. But the thing is, like, maybe especially us foreigners, Westerners, okay, we tend to be aggressive, okay. And I'm Italian, I'm also a little bit,
we are aggressive.
touchy when I speak to people. I'm a hot person, okay. But after coming to China, I've started to cool down a little bit, because I see when I shout, when I scream, I don't solve much. So even if I'm right and they are wrong, still I have to be calm and communicate, and then problems get solved like this. So there are too many things to adapt when you are here. It's not like in another country. China, I would say, is one of a kind. It cannot be compared to any other country in the world. It's something else.
And we have time for one final question. And I just wanted to ask, what advice would you give to anyone looking to sort of do business in China, or I guess just starting out on their sort of journey in China, much like you were? So what advice would you give? Well,
first of all, I don't want to do too much advertising to my company, but if you are doing something with China for the first time, or maybe you tried before, maybe you failed, you didn't do so well, I would recommend them to contact like our company or some companies like us. Why? Because maybe some foreigners, okay, not only Italians, tend to find their friend who lives in China, or their Chinese friend who lives in Italy, or whatever. Maybe these people are good people. I don't say that they're bad people, but they're not professional. And only if you are in China and you stay in China, like if people come to China and they do the usual journey, airport, hotel, exhibition, and they don't see China even if they're in China. Maybe they don't even know the language, the culture. So try to find some people that are really professional and really on the field. These people can help you. The others, even if they are your good friend or your relatives or whatever, maybe they won't help much, and maybe they will do some mess, because there are too many details to take care of. Details are so important. Even when you do import-export, don't just send goods. You have to do customs clearance. You have to export and import. So this is really an endless knowledge. So you don't just find your friend to deal with it. You must be professional. So this is my advice. Like, and don't just look for the websites and do the automatic translation and think that you can do all just because it's online. No, that is not import-export. So unless you are buying something for yourself as a private person, maybe a gift or something, but if you are like going to do business and you are doing that as a company, do it in a professional way. And don't be afraid of like the cost and so on, because of course, even if we provide our services, we have to charge. We are not a charity organization, of course.
Yeah.
But what we charge is reasonable, and that's why also we are still here after so many years, and still all the customers recommend us new customers and so on. But really, even if you have to pay something, it's worth it, and we'll avoid to lose more money in the future, and you can do better business as well. So better to focus on this, not just improvise, not with China at least. Other countries maybe is okay, but China is far, the language is different, the rules are different, there are too many things. So don't do the, in Italy we say fai da te, like do yourself. No, not with China. It's not working.
We'll keep this in mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we've got time for today, but thank you so much for joining us, Giulia. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for you too. And may I say one last thing?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, our company is a member of China-Italy Chamber of Commerce, and also I'm the promoter for Hunan province. This is for free, it's not like the company business. So I also invite more companies to join the chamber, and also the chamber can help. Like one thing is the company, is the business. The other thing is the government institution. So joining the chamber also is a way to enter China and have some, let's say, protection from the government, because also they are here, and so we can there can be a good network and like a family in China.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Giulia.
Yeah, thank you too for inviting me.